Hey, good evening. I'm absolutely all over the place at the moment, so I forgot my tablet. Terry, just do the intro for us, would you please?
Yes, we're back again with another live stream. We're here with Gary. Gary, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, Terry. How are you?
Aye, not too bad. You had a good week?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad, I suppose. I wasn't at the match this afternoon, so at least that didn't spoil anything.
Well, at least we won.
We won. 5th round.
And from last Sunday night, we actually got hacked, so the channel was taken down for about 5 or 6 days, which was very disappointing. I thought we were going to lose the channel completely. But Phil will tell you more on that. Phil, won you?
Yeah, I will. Look, we're back now. I do apologise. I'm absolutely all over the place. How's your day been, Gary? All right?
Yeah, it's been good. Good, thank you. Yeah.
Good. Terry?
Yeah, I just feel shattered today for some reason. But yeah, it's been a good day. Watched the match.
You were shattered today?
Shattered.
I was falling asleep during the match. I was terrible.
I was doing the live stream, so I couldn't actually fall asleep during the match. But yeah,
it was all right. Right, okay. God, I'm all over the place. Emma should have been with us, but she's not well. So get well soon, Emma, if you would please. Don't forget, of course, we are live. Which means you can join us via the live chat. Are you trying to set everybody off yawning there, Terry? Is that you?
I had right. a night's sleep last night.
You can have your say on the live chat, so be part of the show. Please do that. Just very quickly, want to give a shout out to Wolf Competitions, our channel sponsor for this season. Massive thank you to them. Already on there, Tony Lee's on there. Jeff's on saying 0 Anth tonight, which is correct. I can't tell you, but Mark Rodham, evening, gents, and SJ says if you got hacked, right? Let me quickly just run by this quickly, right? We did the show last Sunday, and I'd come off the show, and all of a sudden these security alerts started coming up on my phone, and I thought, shit. So I quickly jumped on the PC. I thought, and I've not changed any password. I've got to change the password. Went on. Password had already been changed, so I couldn't get in there. Straight onto Google, started doing all the procedure of everything, and it turned out we'd been hacked. The channel had been hacked. I was in touch with Terry all the time because obviously me and Terry owned the channel, and so I was keeping Terry up to speed with everything. And Terry then realised when I told him it had come from Russia, he quickly realised it was actually the Russian Geordies. Was his suggestion, which is very likely. So anyway, the channel was offline for most of the week. We didn't even know for certain if we were going to get the channel back. We thought we'd possibly lost it all. Anyway, it'd been taken over by somebody. They changed all the branding on it and everything, and they put Bitcoin adverts on, which they tried to extract money from people, obviously fraudulent videos trying to sell. It was a scam basically. So if you did receive a notification, email, anything like that from our channel, you sort of know why. SJ says if you got acted there, is all the financial information all right? Credit cards, stuff like that. Google have told us that all that was safe. So we're all right. We're all clean. Unfortunately, like I say, I'm fairly tech savvy for an old man, and all our passwords are all different on everything. So at least, they got into this channel and that was it. But anyway, we've got it back. We're here. We wasn't sure if we was going to be here tonight, but we are. Yes! You Russian Geordie bastards. That's what I say. Anyway. So I've lost some train of thought now. Right, I'll tell you what I want to start with. I know I've had the Liverpool game since we was last time. We've had today's game and stuff like that. But I want to start with Christian Speakman. Totally out of the blue. Just a couple of days ago, was it now? Gone. Why? So I'll start with you, Terry. Why do you think this is? And why now? Why at this stage of the season? Have you any suspicions?
Maybe she's just had enough. No suspicions. I think I've just really read between the lines and heard that I think he's basically gone as far as he can go with the club, and it's now over to the new guy that's coming. I can't really pronounce his name. And the new guy's the one that's brought all these foreign players in the last transfer window. I think they've basically, he must just decided to part company. I mean, he's not like from up this neck of the woods anyway, so he had to move all his family up here. So maybe he's just had enough, wants to go back home.
Right, okay. Before I come to you, I'll just quickly jump on the chat there. Black Cat's chat says, Buenas noches, lads. After the Geordie Russians hacked the channel, thought we might start a free Philly camp. I'm not locked up. I'm all right.
Should be.
Good evening, chaps, says Miles Percival. Why do you think he's gone, Gary? And why now? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we didn't get any. There was no rumours or anything, was there? Which is sort of fairly unusual. No press. I don't know. I was trying to look at the club statements and Speakman's statement. You know, you sometimes get a bit of you know, a bit of a question mark over where it's come from. The only things I picked up on is the club statement was fairly short and sweet. And there wasn't too much there in terms of talking about his achievements. A couple of paragraphs, but it wasn't, you know, over the top. And he made a real mention about putting football before his family and, you know, moving the family to the area. And he kind of praised the area more than I think he praised. Well, there was no mention of KLD for a start. And I always thought those two were working really, really tight together. Look, I've got no idea more than the next person, but I've just got that sneaking suspicion that maybe since, I think it's called, I can't pronounce it either, Terry, but Gisolfi came in, that maybe it's not been quite as harmonious as we might have thought. I think it was Nick Barnes who said effectively Gisolfi was Speakman's boss from that point onwards. So you know, he's gone from, you know, maybe he's having that direct link to KLD to being one further down the pecking order. So maybe his nose was put out of joint. Maybe he's, as Terry said, it's run its natural course and it's just time for him to move on. We're a whole different ball game, aren't we, from the one he came in and inherited. I'm sorry to see him go, but I did notice on TNT Sports on Wednesday it was Gisolfi who did the pre-match interview in the dugout. Where in the past we've seen Speakman do that, haven't we? So maybe Gisolfi doing a lot of the running and speaking, you know, as the director of football or whatever his title is.
Right. I mean, I think we can all agree. I mean, certainly on this channel, Speakman got quite a bit of stick early days. I mean, I think most of us weren't really a fan of him and questioned a lot of what had been done. And that, however, you know, this season, more than any, he's had lots of praise from us and deservedly as well for, you know, for what he's done. The question I'll go on then, Terry, come in first.
Yeah, I mean, it's been ups and downs. I mean, the downs, you would say, the whole Michael Beale saga. And he brought Job in, you know, so there's some good things and some bad things. But I mean, I've been saying the same thing, giving him praise, and everyone's been coming on to me saying, well, he hasn't been involved with the transfers of the foreign players that's come in since we've been promoted to the Premier League. So he's more of the Championship side and the League One to the Championship side. So end of the day, it is what it is. We have to move on, don't we?
Well, this is the question I was going to ask. You know, I mean, this changed this season. And it's been a radical change, and we all agree how unbelievably not one of us expected what we've got this season, and we are, you know, you look at us, and we are a decent Premiership side. You know, we look so comfortable now. You know, if these deals have been done by, I think it's Florent Gisolfi, if he's done these deals. Happy days. You know, if Speakman's had a big say in it, then it's quite worrying that that Speakman's gone. So, I mean, are you saying then, Terry? Are you saying Gisolfi is the man who's done these? Do you know that, or is that the impression you get?
It's just I've had a lot of people coming onto my channel and telling us that he's the guy who's done all these buys over the summertime. So I don't know for sure. I'm just heading towards that, sort of hedging my bets down that line. So, you know, end of the day, if Gisolfi has done all these signings, then We've obviously gone, like we've gone, when every time you move up a ladder, so you go from League One to the Championship, you change your players, you get a different quality player in. From the Championship to the Premier League, you change your players again. And maybe just the same with Speakman. You've got another guy who has more contacts around the world. I don't know. We just have, having some wild stabs in the dark here, but I think that's probably what it is, to be honest.
Right, Gary, do you think Ghisolfi's the man who's the reason we look so different to how we did last season?
Yeah, I think we've got to say, haven't we, that this influx of whatever it was, 14 players in the last transfer window in the summer coincided with Ghisolfi coming in. So it's quite natural to think he's the one who's made the difference, whether it's through knowing agents or just knowing the international leagues. Speakman's had to do most of his work watching reserve team players, bringing in reserve players from the likes of Everton or whoever we've had. I know we dabbled a bit in the French league and one or two others, but comparison, even if we say we've had bargains during the summer, we've still been flashing 10 million, 12 million here and there, which we certainly couldn't do when Speakman came in. One thing I will say about Speakman, and this is what makes me nervous, is when he's been interviewed or when he's been there's been articles on him, he's made a really big play about the culture of the club and the mindset and the attitudes of people, not least the coach themselves in terms of where they're fitting and what their role is. So he sort of set that up. And the other thing he did fairly early on, I think it was mostly him, there was a lot of talk about data, wasn't there? And having a lot more data on footballers generally, and our transfer policy, and having succession planning for managers. So I think in terms of the model, which KLD wanted, I think he's been instrumental. So the other side to this is, if he's actually done that, if he's set the model up and he's got it running successfully, then maybe he's had enough. Maybe he's looking for other jobs where he can replicate that. So, fair play to him. I think he'll turn up somewhere else and hopefully he'll do a good job. But I like the guy. I like what he's done for us. But like you said about Michael Beale, there's also been a few, dodgy signings along the way. Whoever thought Mason Burstow was a footballer, I have to shake their hand for a start. So it's not been all plain sailing.
Right.
That made you laugh, didn't it? Mention that name.
Right, okay. Just a couple of things on the chat then. Black Cat's chat, which is Mike and Conrad, and them saying clearly a bust-up between Speakman and the club. Two parties not aligned for a change. Also, Siddiqui had been followed since he was a teenager by Stuart Harvey. Ghisolfi only came in for one season, so we can't imagine him having a great deal of involvement sort of in summer recruitment. I mean, we don't know how long they'd been in touch with him sorting this job out before that. We don't know. Taffy Mackham says, just come back from the game. Wish Muddle could play like that in the Premier League. Super chat not working, Philly. I'm not sure with Taffy. Like I said, we were hacked this week, so I've only just managed to get the channel back sort of looking sort of as it was, as close as I can at the moment. I've got to try and do a bit more work on it. But anyway, oh, sorry, it's Lee. Sorry, Lee, I'm getting you mixed up. There are all these channels with all the same name. Sorry, Lee. I hope it's raining in Spain. Anyway, overall, then with Speakman, how do you think he did, Terry? Out of 10, what would you give him? And try and unmute your mic before you speak.
I was going to. Yeah, look, I was one of the knockers to begin with. I wasn't a massive fan in his early days, and end of the day, he's persuaded us to be a fan, and he's proved a point. He's come good at the end, and he's done well. So I would say a good 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was as well a knocker, and that made us a pair of knockers. It's what we were.
Right, pair of knockers, me and you, Phil.
Yeah. Gary, overall, out of 10, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I was the third knocker at one point as well, but that didn't really work.
That just wouldn't work for somehow. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'll move on from that. Yeah, I mean, I'm sat here sort of like thinking, how would I criticise him? you know, he never was. He's never the best at picking strikers, was he? We had a few shortcomings when it came to finding strikers, and I'm thinking of the likes of Russin coming in, who we chased all summer, and he never really took off. There was Hamia, who we thought was going to come straight in. He never took off. So there's plenty of false starts there. But no, overall, you know, we've had that success, and he's been central to it. So I think, like Terry says, you know, 8.5 to 10. You know, play to him, and you know, maybe he has just decided it's time to move on.
Right, okay. We just had a little bit of good news has come through. It is raining in Spain, which is good. It makes us feel a bit better. Mind you, not so much me. I'm in Spain next week. So Davey, a.k.a. says it's shite, no goals from open play. Do we have anyone not shit of putting the ball in the net? I don't know. Speakman said through the rough times, Taffy Mackham says, which is fair dues. Just very quickly, we've got almost 100 people on the stream, and we like to get 100 likes on a Sunday if that's possible. So if you can just hit the thumbs up. We're on 31 at the moment, so that's just what, 69. Way more. Oh, so puerile, I know. So yeah, hit the thumbs up, give us a like, do that, get us to 100 if you would, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. It's free to do so, and we'll love you forevermore. Well, do you think Speedman's going to be replaced then, or is that it? Is this the model now? Is this Gazolfi just going to go it alone, do you think? Or do you think we're going to try and bring someone in? Because I suppose if we did bring someone in, that would then suggest that there was a bit of a bust-up. Gary?
Yeah, it's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. I don't know. I suppose the thing, you know, I've read over the years about KLD is he's very much got this business model in mind. You know, there's him, there's the directors, and the director of football oversees everything else. The coach is very much a coach rather than old style football manager. So I'd be surprised if they did bring anybody else in. But, you know, like I said, Speakman seemed to have kind of picked up different elements of the plan. I would have thought it'd be down to Gazolfi to make that decision. It's got to be somebody who can work with him. Is he happy with the organisation he's got around him? You know, if he's got free reign without Speakman there, maybe he will bring in a right-hand man or somebody else who'll deal with some of the spade work. I suppose the other thing is, how far is our reach now? Let's say we're talking about being a top 10 Premier League club by the end of the season, hopefully. Then all of a sudden the transfer markets open up differently, don't they? Because you've got a different level of player potentially going to be recruited. So that's it'll be interesting to see what changes he does make. Because of course we've lost a coach recently as well, haven't we? So again, you kind of wonder what's going on in the background, and you know who's in and who's out.
Just very quickly, back to the chat. SJ says, how did I get a reminder just now? Still hacked. I think the Russian Geordies could still be watching us, and if you are, and all that, I don't know, mate. I mean, well, I've been jumping through hoops all week with Google, getting everything sorted, and it's been an absolute nightmare. So as far as I'm concerned, everything's okay. They've, everything's been removed what should have been and stuff like that. Ben Pearson says, I think the Adingra signing this summer was an interesting one. Gazolfi is credited with all our summer incomings. Interesting. Adingra began in January, implying someone else was behind that one. Fair dues. Terry, do you think he could be replaced, or do you think this is how we're going to be moving forward now?
No, I think Speakman was probably only there to be there for so many years, and Gazolfi was brought in as Speakman's replacement. I think it's been a transition where, you know, he's come in and he's sort of taken over from Speakman, and now I think Speakman's just his time to go. That's all. He's probably come to terms where, like Gary said, probably got a new project in there. Once he's had a bit time with his family and a little bit of time off, which he probably deserves to after moving up to the northeast, he'll probably go back into work somewhere. I would think somewhere in the Midlands.
Right, okay. Tony Huntington on the chat says Speakman brought in some good player and managers, also some duds. So basically, so saying what you did there, Gary. To be fair, Dodds was actually not a bad coach. It was when he went into the managing thing. I mean, we when Dodds left and to the Wickham job, we seemed to go to like dog shit. I mean,
yeah, but then he got sacked more or less straight away there, didn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, when he was manager with us, he was shit, and then he and then like I said, he got sacked from Wickham, but he was probably a very good coach, like in training and stuff like that. Because we did go pretty bad when he went, but I don't know. But all in all, Speakman going, we're not going to be any worse without him. Do you think, Terry?
No, I'm not really bothered, to be honest. I'm happy with the way KLD seems to be running the ship. He seems to have a good grasp on what's going on, and he's doing a great job. So he's obviously got good taste. He's brought Speakman in, now he's brought this Gisolfi in, so he seems to be knowing what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely. Gary, you're not too bothered about him going. We're not going to be any worse off, you don't think? No, hopefully.
I'm disappointed, and I think time will tell in terms of whether, how much influence he's had and whether his influence in the background has got us to where we have, or whether we lose something by him moving on. So I'll reserve judgment, but KLD's proved to be, pretty smooth operator. I think, the likes of Dave Jones came in early doors. He's moved on. We've seen managers replaced once he's decided their time is done. And generally, you've got to say he's got it right. He must have done because of where we are now. So, you'd be hard pressed to push him. The other thing with KLD is I think he's got good people around him. I think he's got good advisors. So, we know he's ambitious. He'll see, more of what Speakman's been doing and Gisolfi's been doing. He's clearly decided this is the time. Like Terry says, if he turns up somewhere in the Midlands or whatever, I just hope it's right for him and his family because he's certainly put the work in. I think we know that.
Yeah, and I suppose with KLD, where he lacks in his wisdom because of his age, like I say, having a good team around him certainly will make up for that. Fonz 1971, Gary, you've got a massive fan on here. Gary talks a load of sense every time he's on. Jeff says, agree, Fonz, far too intelligent, which says a lot for me and you, Terry. And there.
Yeah, I've got my family to watch, Phil. They're the Russians.
Yeah, the Russians
are bring it down.
They've hacked the chat. Where's me and Terry? Anyway. Tony Huntington says that he sort of agrees. Dodds was a good coach. Not a good manager. Paul Spector said it felt a bit weird going back to Oxford. Felt like we were back in the League One days. Right, okay then. Well, look, I'll tell you what. Let's get onto Liverpool. I was probably depressed after it, to be honest. But let's did we certainly first half as well? Did we show them too much respect? Do you think first half, Gary?
I don't think we did. I know I'm sort of like going against the grain here compared to what a lot of people have been saying since then. But you've got to think with these guys, they're just not going to give us the ball. And we are sometimes very careless in possession. So I think the first half, it wasn't a question of paying them too much respect. I think it was kind of realising they were going to cut us open if we weren't careful. We kept a really tight shape. And if we did have any chances to break or take the ball forward, we were probably, I don't think it was a question of ambition. I think it was just we were a bit careless. And when McAllister, I think who else was next to him, McAllister and the other one in the middle had the ball, they had the control of it in the same way as Declan Rice and the guy next to him did. They don't give the ball away, they control it. On the other hand, we're missing Xhaka, who would do the same job for us. So people talk about ambition, but I think, first half, they were the better team and they had the majority of the possession. We tried to soak it up. Let's be honest, lads. A few months ago, if you'd said the reigning champions were coming to our place and we'd be disappointed with a 1-0 defeat, people would have said you were absolutely mental. We weren't far off it, particularly in the second half, but no, the home record was going to go sooner or later. I don't think there's any great shame in that.
Yeah, all right, okay. Just very quickly, Taffy Mackham says Ivan Toney wants to come back to the Premier League next season. Earned his money. He's only 29. Jeff says evening from Moscow. Hilarious. Terry, I mean, I went corporate, so at half time I got to go in the warm and all that and hear everything on the telly. And they'd said Sunderland only had 3 touches inside the Liverpool box in the first half. Terry, did we show them too much respect first half? Because we did nothing.
I honestly just think Liverpool were just too good on the night. They got the experience, they got the wise heads. Just the champions of the Premier League, where they were until this season, for a reason.
Well, they still are.
Side. I thought the likes of Van Dijk and Canate were excellent in defence. It's hard to break them down. They clearly, Arne Slot did a good job. He studied our team and knew where our weak points were, and they were able to control the game, control the ball. And it's probably a step too far without Granit Xhaka. Like I say, we've played in the league without them for 4 games. We've lost 3. So here's the main cog, our main sort of asset on the pitch. He's the player that we really need back as soon as possible, because you can see we're missing the experience in midfield, someone who controls the ball, who can pick a good pass. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to take your hats off and just say they were just too good for us on the night. They didn't outclass us as in, winning by 3 or 4 goals, but on the night, we never really looked like scoring a goal, did we? Let's face it.
Yeah, I totally agree. We were second best all night, and even though second half we were better. Does it just show how? I mean, we've come a long way, and like I said at the start, we look like a decent Premier League side, and in fact, somebody's just nailed. In fact, Taffy Mackham, who talks a lot of sense anyway, says we're in the Fulham, Brighton, Bournemouth, Brentford bracket. So. Even though we've come a long way, playing Liverpool on Wednesday, do you think it still shows how far we still have to go, really, to be, a top Premier side, Gary?
Yeah, I think it does. And I think we're well organised, we're well set up, we know what we're good at. But I think particularly in the last few months, we know our weakness. And somebody's already, talked about our inability to score goals from open play. And you could probably, even early on in the season, that was possibly something, we weren't exactly going crazy with the goals. There was no out-and-out goal scoring. There isn't now. Robbie's done okay. Isidore's done okay. But yeah, I think, we're good defensively. We're solid in midfield. We show some real purpose at times. But I don't think that, our front 3 are necessarily going to be that effective. We talked last week about Robbie and whether he's an out-and-out goal scorer or not. He plays a slightly different game, I think, to Isidore. So, yeah, look, we're not the finished article. We know that. We had a great start to the Premier League. But, yeah, it's all settled down a little bit now. We're still competitive. But I think the fact that, Liverpool gave us a lot of compliments and the media gave us a lot of compliments on Wednesday night for being a good team, hard to beat, how difficult it is to come to the ground. And again, even those compliments we got, I think we'd have taken them at the start of the season. We want to be that team, don't we? We want to be competitive. So no great shame for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Terry will hear this because he knows I'm super superstitious and stuff. And I really didn't want to lose our unbeaten home record. So I even went back to the trusty yellow watch strap down here, which saw me all through Wembley and stuff like that. And when we played the Mags, and I thought, I'm going to put it on so that we don't get beat. Right? We just wait.
Standing on your lucky foot all night as well.
What?
Were you standing on your lucky foot all night as well?
I had me lucky underpants on, honestly, everything. But I put this has never failed until Wednesday. And I realise now, because Stephen Thornton on the chat says it was game number 13 at home as well. So
you realise now that was just all a crock of shit, don't you?
No, it's not a crock of shit. If I want to listen, it was
lucky we would have won.
Terry, you can't say that. Don't curse us.
I know.
This is serious stuff.
God, honestly, it's like we've had the Russians on and everything, and you're just like, it's probably your fault for slagging them off. Anyway, Terry, does it show how far we've still got to come?
Hey, nobody's slagging the team off. I thought the team's been brilliant this season.
You're just slagging me off.
Oh, yeah, because you're bloody useless with superstitious bollocks. We've won 7, we've drawn 5 before the game on Wednesday. It's probably just a game too far that we played. We had a really tough game at the Etihad on Saturday, losing to Arsenal, and without Granit Xhaka, it's been tough. I think the players have been travelling around the world, come back from AFCON, getting back into the side again. I just feel it's just probably just a step too far this season, and they looked a bit. I think some of the players did look a bit tired and jaded, but at the same time, give credit to Liverpool. Kanate was a bit out of form early on the season. He's coming good now. That challenge when Mukiele put the ball in the box for Bobby, that had to be absolutely perfect on the money, and it was. He got the ball. That could have been a penalty to Sunderland. Any other challenge he did. So he did him and Van Dijk. Van Dijk's getting on, but he had a fantastic game as well. So sometimes you just got to admit you're beaten by a better side on the night.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Liverpool were pretty pants at the start of the season. I mean, they'd gone, and everybody was saying as well before the season started, because the money they'd spent and everything, everybody was going to say, how on earth are we going to stop Liverpool? And that's what it was all about. And they were shocking when they started off, but they're far better now, Gary.
Yes. Well, just on the topic of Liverpool, before we move off it, can anybody explain to me what happened to Ballard for their goal? Because they were talking on TV about, keep it away from Ballard because he's the one who dominates at set pieces. But for the goal, it looks as though he's ducked down. Now, I'm not saying he's done it deliberately, but it looks to me as though Ronaldo or somebody's caught him and he's stumbled because he was following Van Dijk initially and he's kind of stumbled. And of course, Van Dijk more or less is unmarked. I've tried to watch it back a couple of times and I can't quite work it out, but maybe somebody else has looked at it closer.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I've not even watched it back. So all I've seen is that was it Mukiele who it came off last because Van Dijk did it, and Van Dijk headed it, and then
of course he did. It was
and then it goes in the roof of the net and that. So I've sort of seen that, but I don't know. Back on the chat again, Taffy Mackham saying we're just missing a fox in the box. 15-goal striker we can all adore, and I think that's probably right. We haven't. If we had that, a lot of these games where we've lost points or dropped points, I think would have been there for the taking. Just very quickly anyway. 55 likes we got at the moment, 45 more people. If you can hit that thumbs up for us, we've got 107 people on the stream, and on a Sunday we do like to try and hit 100 likes. We'll love you forevermore if you do that. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It's free to subscribe. That helps out as well. Normally there would be a little watermark for the subscribe in the bottom corner, but again, because I've been putting the channel back together after those pesky Russian Geordies got at us, I've not had a chance to get that back on, but it's easy enough to subscribe. If you can, do that. And like I said, that really does help us. What about the referee? Because, again, amongst the crowd I was with, there was a lot of complaints about the referee, and now we got absolutely nothing. I'll be honest, I didn't sort of see it myself, but it's just, with it being highlighted, there was a lot of people going on about it. Terry, referee Wednesday?
I mean, going back to that Van Dijk's goal first, I've been watching the back there, and he kind of gives Ballard a bit of a push before he goes for the ball, so maybe he got a bit of a knock and he just stumbled a little bit. It wasn't so much of a hefty push, but he kind of just nudged him forward a bit, so it was probably just his experience to do that and knock Ballard off his game. But the referee didn't give us that much on the night, but to be fair, I don't think it really sort of affected the game in any way as such. I think they were just again they were just a better team on the night. So I think we were second best in most positions, to be fair.
Right, okay. Just very quickly before I come to you, Gary. Ben Pearson on the chat says, I think Brobby is that guy. I think our attacking problems come from our wingers. I don't know. He's brilliant at holding stuff up, Robbie. You can't fault him for that, Terry.
Yeah, I just want to say as well, I mean, I was a bit surprised we put the new lad in straight away from the beginning. I thought maybe Talby probably deserved to start over there. I would have started Talby on the left and then brought the new lad on after maybe about 60 minutes, because I think it was kind of took them in the deep end against Liverpool. It wasn't easy to see how he didn't do too bad. I just think that we do need wingers that can get the balls in the box for Bobby, and Bobby does score from open play. But I mean, someone like a Thiago from Brentford would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't he? But I mean, he's going to go somewhere big, I think, in the summertime.
Right, okay. I was going to go on to that anyway, so I'll ask you, Gary, first of all, your thoughts on the referee, and then Nilsson Angulo. You know, he got a start. Your thoughts on him? How do you think he did?
He did okay. He looked promising. He picked the ball up a few times, didn't he? And tried to carry it quite a way forward. Obviously, you don't know what you're going to get with a debutant, do you? In terms of how much they can influence play, but I think he looks promising. I've got high hopes for him, but maybe, as Terry says, it was just a little bit too early in terms of integrating him into the team. But again, before I say anything too much about him and what he did or didn't do, Diarra and Lafay weren't able to influence the match because a lot of the time they were chasing Liverpool. We didn't have enough possession, and a criticism I've got, I've already said it, we do give the ball away too easily. Far too many times we're looking for ambitious passes and they don't come off, and we've given the ball away to the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool. Guess what? They don't want to give us it back. So I don't want to criticise him too much because he was in the same boat as the rest of them, really. As for the ref, apparently he's apologised to Reggie for not giving a penalty for Robbie. Now, at first I thought it was maybe 50-50, but if the ref's apologising, well, maybe that says something, doesn't it? You certainly get this thing with Robbie. He's getting malhandled all the time. I know some people say, well, he gives as good as he can get, but he doesn't get his fair share of decisions going his way for me.
Yeah, and a referee apologising though doesn't bode very well for VAR. You think, the whole idea of a referee missing something or not getting it right, he's safety net's VAR. Terry, you was one in there.
Yeah, I mean, this is where we're missing Granit Xhaka, because he can hold the ball, keep the ball, and keep control of the ball and pass the ball around nicely. That's where he's like the general in the middle of the pitch. So without him being there, we look a bit lost for someone who can keep ball retention and find a pass and bring other players into the game.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Taffy Mackham never fails. He's the best. Taffy Mackham, if you don't know Taffy Mackham has been around since the start, really. And what a great bloke he is. Anyway, he's just said, right, I have to go and pick up fish and chips. Mrs. Taffy still regrets letting me name the kids. I love it. Right, okay. I've got to go to an advert, but before I do, just very quickly, a standout players for Sunderland against Liverpool. I know we were second best all over the field, and Liverpool were, well deserved their win. But did anybody stand out for us, Terry? See, I told you not to unmute your mic then, because I thought
every time.
I'm just winding you up, man. I think there was a lot of sevens for me. I don't think there was anybody that really stood out. I think, I can't really think of anybody, to be fair.
Right, okay. Gary?
I went for Lafay on the night. I thought if we were going to do anything, it nearly always came through Lafay, and he was scrapping for everything as well. I think he's come on leaps and bounds. So for me, he was the man of the match.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, Wolf competitions have been massive for our channel this season. They've sponsored us, pulled us right out of the shit, and thanks to them. All right, massive thanks to them. wolfcompetitions.co.uk is the website. Get on, win yourself prizes, cash. Changing people's lives is what we do. I was out and about This was last week. We went to see Rebecca, who'd won 12.5 grand and a chance to flip the Wolf coin for another 1,500 quid. This is what happened. 14 grand. 14 grand. It's Wee Philly for Wolf Competitions. We are here in Walker. What's your wheels? No, it's all right round here, actually. We're here to see. This is a biggie. This is a good one. Rebecca has only gone and won herself 12.5 grand. Woohoo! How good's that? That is mint. But even more so, she can flip the coin for another 1,500 quid. Come on, let's go and have a chat to Rebecca. 12.5 grand, £12,500. How good's that? Are you Rebecca? Rebecca, come on here, have a chat with us. Wolf Competitions. This is a biggie, this, mind, isn't it? How long you been playing on Wolf Competitions?
About 2 months.
About 2 months. You seem like, are you lucky?
No.
You're not really. Well, I think you're pretty lucky there. I mean, 12.5 grand. How did you win it?
International wheel.
All right. International. What team was it?
Wheels.
Wheels, sheep, bear, and all that. Well, that's pretty good, right? 12.5 grand. Do you know what you're going to spend it on? Me?
I don't know yet.
You don't know, so you might spend it on me.
Well, no, not you.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Right, but the good thing is, right, you've got the chance to flip for 1,500 quid, so an extra 1,500 quid, all right? So all we want to see, we just want to see the wolf's head, all right? So grab the coin, let it fall on the floor. Come on, Rebecca, get the wolf's head. Let's have a look. Yes! Yes! High five. How good's that? That's pretty good, that. So is that 14 grand? 14 grand on wheels, sheep, bear. All you got to do, right, it's wolfcompetitions.co.uk. Give us a thumbs up like that. There you go then, wolfcompetitions.co.uk, as we said. Get on there, check it out. You can still, the car's still up for grabs, and that's for free. So check it out. And once again, a massive big thank you to Wolf Competitions for sponsoring SCFC Fan TV. Paul Spector on the chat says Ballard was exceptional and he doesn't get the credit he deserves sometimes. I think he gets a lot of credit, and deservedly as well. I think Ballard is definitely, Jacques has been obviously the signing of the season without a doubt, but Ballard has been the revelation. I mean, he's the one who's stepped up from the Championship, and is just immense. So hats off to him. Right then, okay, today a cup run, Wembley Arch, and it's getting to that point now where Wembley gets a bit boring. I mean. In a nice sort of way, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm thinking, God, if we get another trip to Wembley, and I think, we've done it all. You know what we're going to do? What's going to be different? Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Oxford United 0, Sunderland 1. Team lineup, a few changes in there. 09 captain. Terry, were you all right with that?
Yeah, I was very surprised to see 09 as captain. I mean, well, obviously being you being captain over the last few games, it's surprised to give it to Luke 09, but he played in the Everton game in the third round. He had a really good game, probably his best game in the Sunderland shirt for a good year, I would have thought. But we rested Alderweireld, rested Ballard, Ronaldo. I think Alderweireld might have been struggling on Wednesday night against Liverpool. Ballard, of course, has his knocks and he gets injured a lot, so it's good to see those two being rested. Ronaldo rested. Siddiqui had a good 60 minutes on the bench, so played a few different players. Serkin came in, which I was pleased to see Serkin come in. You had Mew Cayley, who played centre-back with 09. I thought they were a good partnership today. Hume went back to right-back. Then in the middle, we had Diarra Lafay and Hatruda started. And I thought the team, I thought they held the own, in the first half, but we'll get into that, I suppose. And Isidore up top, Robbie had a rest on the bench. So to be fair, we rested a lot of players for the FA Cup game, which is good to see, get them ready for the Fulham match. And I think as we progress in the competition, we'll start to play a full strength side and we'll get stronger.
I think no disrespect to Oxford, but I think those changes were definitely made because it was Oxford. Because when we played Everton, he put out a good, strong team, and we thought, because we didn't know if he was going to sort of use the squad and treat it like you treat the cup. but it was a strong side against Everton.
I still thought that was a good, strong team today. To be fair, I thought the players that come in, Mundle on the left, Talby got moved over to the right. I thought they all did themselves quite, justice, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Gary, the lineup for you and 09 captain?
Yeah, I thought the interesting bit for me was in playing Gertruda in that central midfield row, because I was debating with Lee last week about whether Gertruda should have been getting more minutes, and he did today, and I think he did well. So obviously Labries used the cups before to try different things. I was surprised how strong a team he put out against Everton, but he's already said they want to take the competition seriously this year. So it kind of made sense in terms of who needed resting and who needed a chance to come in, the likes of Cirkin in 09. I presume Hume would be captain, but I get the feeling that they want to keep 09 involved, so that kind of makes sense. Mundle's a funny one. I know somebody's already said about Mundle in the Premiership versus Mundle of last season playing the likes of Oxford. The big disappointment for me today was Isidore, because I've gone from sort of like thinking he's got something exceptional in his locker when he produces, to sort of like now thinking actually when was the last time he produced? Yeah. And there was one bit today in particular where Mundle went down the left. He had a really good run, and I think he ended up with 4 players around him just on the edge of the 18-yard box. And I'm thinking, where's Isidore? And he's held back. He's kind of pulled back, and there's no way in the world Mundle's going to be able to pull back with four players around him. What he does is he flashes the ball across the face of the goal. That's where Isidore needs to be. He needs to be making them runs. And sometimes he just frustrates me. He's not got that killer instinct. He can finish. We know he can. We know he's got speed. But we talk about that fox in the box kind of thing. I'm not sure he's quite cut out to.
Yeah, I sort of agree with you. And I'm disappointed also, because I like Isidore, and I think he's very good running if he's on his own and there's a ball over the top. I think he's very good at sort of running onto stuff like that. And so I am disappointed with that. You say about the Gertruda thing, I know you was chatting with Lee last week. Maybe Reggie was watching the show last week and then decided to put him in. But SG on the chat says Gertruda was the invisible man today. Terry, you're one in there?
Yeah, I don't think. I think Gertruda didn't. I don't think he was one of the better players on the pitch today. I think he gave the ball away a couple of times. But going to Isidore, I think Isidore is a confidence player. And I think that miss against Liverpool away, I think that's really knocked his confidence for 6. And I think he hasn't recovered since then. To be honest, he hasn't really been in running with anything. Even when he's coming as sub, he's looked all over the place. So for me, I think personally today, I probably would have rather have started Mienda, to be honest. But
right, okay. Just very quickly, back on the chat, because we said about Wembley getting boring. SGA said, imagine if we get to Man City levels, will we say it's getting boring now? Well, I sort of feel for I've always liked Man City, even probably over Man United, because I always thought the Manchester people, well, there's that many Man United fans from Essex and all that. But you do see that because they've done so well. Like when you get to Wembley, especially like the FA Cup, because the semi-finals are like held at Wembley. If Man City get the semi-final of the FA Cup, they're empty seats and stuff like that, and you think, well, yeah, because they're going to be there again in a few weeks' time. And it's not cheap going to Wembley, so it's SGA would be nice, a nice dilemma to have, getting bored seeing us, constantly winning the Premier League. But wait and see.
When I've seen Man City playing the other week, Philly, when they showed you the front row and like the seats round about in the Man City end, they'll just have a massive Asian following, don't they?
I hadn't. I've not watched a lot on the telly recently, but I'll take your word for it. So, what do I mean? 30 minutes in, we get a penalty foul on Cirkin. Was it a penalty in your eyes? And also followed up with Lefebvre was on the pitch. Diarra on pens. Is that how that's going to be now? Terry?
Yeah, I've heard I heard them saying basically Diarra and Lafay come to some arrangement where they're going to take turns with penalties. So Lafay takes his penalties till he misses one, then Diarra takes over, and then when he misses one, Lafay will take over. That's what my understanding is. I don't know if that's correct or not, but for me, it was 100% a penalty. I thought Dennis Cirkin had a really good game today. He was only beaten once down the right-hand side by the Oxford winger. And like someone says in the chat, yeah, Hertrude's position is a defender. His natural position is a central defender to right, sort of wing back, right back. So the midfield position isn't really his natural position, but it was 100% a penalty by, I thought Cirkin did really well. That's what Dennis Cirkin brings you. He gets down the wing and he helps the winger out, and he can overlap and get in the box, and he's dangerous that way. He's another player like Ballard. If he can stay injury free and get some game time, we may see a big improvement from Dennis Cirkin.
Right, okay. On the chat there, Miles Percival, he's saying he heard the same, Terry, obviously, about the penalty thing, swapping till they miss. I don't know. I don't know what I feel about that. When
Diarra scores a penalty, he takes the penalties until he misses one, and then it gives an incentive for the next person, like the Lafay, to score penalties.
Yeah. It's not something I ever thought about or even heard necessarily done before. Johnny Cool says defo a pen. Gary, definitely a penalty, was it? And your thoughts on Diarra taking pens?
I've got to be honest. The fact that Terry's so confident it was a pen, it gives me a bit of confidence, to be honest, because from one of the angles, I wasn't 100% sure whether the lad got a touch on the ball or not. Obviously the ball changed direction. It's whether he did enough to, get the ball before he took the man out. So I wasn't convinced by it. And there's always that thing, is if it was given against us, I'd have probably been quite upset about it. But you've got to take your chances, whether for many years we've been on the wrong side of decisions. We're the Premier League club, and maybe today we got a couple of decisions because of it. I think, you take it where you can get it and don't complain too loudly. Regards the penalties thing, I don't like the idea of alternating or saying if you miss, he takes over. I think you kind of decide who your best is, and they won't necessarily both be playing, so it's nice to be able to choose one or the other. I thought the way Diarra gave the goalkeeper the eyes before he put it in was great. I suppose the good thing about having options there is, we all know goalkeepers do the homework these days, carry the plastic bottles of, information on. But if they don't know who's going to take it, gives them something else to think about, doesn't it? So maybe that gives us an option. Or
they could do the homework on both players, and then whichever one takes it, then they would.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, Gary.
Do you think the penalty though, Philly? Do you not think Diarra, when he sort of stuttered, he saw the keeper make his move, then put it in the other corner, which for me that shows intelligence. Like,
well, I thought that, but when I've watched it, I don't think the keeper moves. I think
he has a slight move. I think when you're a striker, when which way the keeper's going to get a sense, and I think he just moved slightly and he knew where to put it.
Yeah, I tried to look at it and I thought, he's done the stutter thing and he's moved and then put it the other way. But like you say, he could have made a slight movement, which has made his mind up. I'm with you, Gary, on the penalty. I thought I was in a way being biased, being a Sunderland fan, and I thought it was a soft penalty myself. But there's people on here saying defo and Chuggy standing like away, SJ says there. But penalty will take it all day. What about the booking on Lafay? Should it have been a red card, Terry?
See, I don't even see where Lafay takes the man out. I think he gets the from the angle I saw where he got the yellow card. He gets the ball, then his trailing leg comes through and gets the man, so he gets the ball first. Unless I'm just seeing the angle all wrong, but I only saw the one angle, and for me, I was thinking, why is he getting a yellow card? The same reason why I thought, is it all get a yellow card? He touched the player on the back of his back, and he rolled on the ground like being shot. Yeah. I thought some really dubious yellow cards given.
Yeah. Well, when I saw it, our lass was shouting red card and all that, but I'm shouting he got the ball. But we have different allegiances anyway, so she would always do that. And I thought he got the ball. And like I said, I agree with you, Terry, on the Isidore one. He hardly touched him and he went down like he'd been shot. You know
And
what I
then
mean?
Miyende gets kicked in the ribs and he gets in the play. Doesn't he get a free kick?
I think they both got booked though, didn't they? They both got a card for it, I believe.
I remember when Miyende came in, he got a kicked in the ribs and he never even got a free kick.
Yeah. Gary, for you, a yellow card or should it have been a red, or how did you see it?
My first thought is it was a nasty challenge, but it wasn't a red card. There was no malice involved. It wasn't a career-ending injury. It was late. He misjudged it. That simple. And I think, this whole thing of VAR and going through every single challenge, slowing it down, makes it sometimes look worse than it is. And I think in real time, it's like he's caught him, but it's not a red card. Not for me. Some of the decisions we're having in the Premier League. If you remember, lads, when the third round of the FA Cup was on, everybody's going, it's been a great weekend of football because there was no VAR. And then this week, all we've had is, we should have had VAR. That wouldn't have happened. Behind up.
Yeah. Right. Just very quickly, we are running out of time, so I want to try and hurry through these next few things. 74 likes, so 26 people. Hit the thumbs up. Get us to 100. Please do that before the end. I'll try and lump these together. A lot of the Oxford fans were complaining about the referee that they was given nothing. So there's that. Their goal, what was chalked off, was it 09? Did he foul 09? Was it 09 when he was through? So your thoughts on that as well, Terry?
Yeah, the Oxford players were crying about everything, wasn't it? Really, they were just felt hard done by. They wanted a foul every time they rolled on the floor. At the end of the day, they got the just desserts today. They give a good game. They give a good account of themselves, but it was a free kick. 09 was being dragged back by his shirt, which he can't do in the first place. So definitely a free kick. And end of the day, Roos would have saved it anyway. Roos stopped when he realised the flag got up. He's right there.
Yeah.
I could have scored that. I could have scored that past Roos. I mean, Roos is like, score if you want. So at the end of the day, Matt Bloomfield was twisting and crying about all sorts of things. Nothing goes our way. Boo hoo hoo.
Gary, the referee, like I said, Oxford were going mad about him one day, and that goal being chalked off, right decision?
Yeah, I think it probably was. But again, if the roles were reversed, I'd have been up in arms about it because it was a bit. We know how 09 is, and it is a bit 6 and 1/2 a dozen of the other. But as you see it back, the first pull is the striker on 09. I think 09 carries on. And there's a point at which we realise the ref's blown or whatever, and he brings it back. So, yeah, I think we might just got to wait. Put it this way, again, if we weren't the Premier League team, we might not have got a couple of those decisions.
Right,
so,
okay. Right,
okay. We probably rode our luck today a little bit.
I agree, Terry, what you're saying. Roos would have saved it anyway. Did just stand up. Right, these things I want to get in. Jocelyn came on for the last 10 minutes. Your thoughts on him, Gary?
From what I saw, it's like a lot of wingers that we sign. He looks quite capable. He's got tricky feet. He looks as though he wants to take people on. But we've had a lot like that. So, let's wait and see. He looks right. I was surprised to see him on the bench, to be honest, because they'd already said he was one for the future. But, hopefully he'll surprise us.
Terry,
I know one of the comments earlier was about what we need. If Robbie looks as though he's our preferred lone striker, we need people down the channel supporting him. So hopefully the new signings do it.
Terry, Jocelyn?
Yeah, there's a progress in work, isn't he? Let's face it. He come on, he looks speedy. He's got quick feet, carries the ball well. But it's early days, like Gary says, it's early days. But good to see him get some minutes. Yeah,
I was well impressed with him. I know it was only 10 minutes, but I thought, but like you said, Gary, we've seen it before as well.
Look, end of the day, I thought Mundle for me on the left was fantastic today. He never stopped running his socks off. He was helping Serkin. He was up taking 4 or 5 players on. He didn't get much help at times, but he struggles in the Premier League as well. So there's a massive gap from the Championship to the Premier League. But all he can do is bring the players in and try and improve them.
Right, okay. So in a word, was Mundle your man of the match there, Terry? Yes. Gary?
Yeah, I'd probably between him and 09.
Right, okay. I'm good. I'm just going to get a prediction for Fulham. But before I do, we're in the 5th round now. We're in the draw, which is tomorrow night. Round about 6:30, I think it is. So, Terry, who do you want in the next round?
between a rock and a hard place, and either one Newcastle, Liverpool, or an easy tie, maybe someone like Mansfield.
Well, not Mansfield. Mansfield are good. Macclesfield is what you want. Gary, are you wanting next round?
I think one of the sides is Bristol City against Port Vale, isn't it? I'll take one of those two.
One of them.
I do not want the Mags, and I don't want Leeds, and I don't want Arsenal.
Well,
I think they've lost Bruno now for 2 months. He's out the derby, isn't he?
Apparently, yeah.
Well, yeah, he is. Well, for me, definitely all day number 13 away from home, please, if you don't mind. We've done the deal for Derby Day. If you didn't already know, we're going to be in Elysium nightclub. It's over 1,000 people. It's going to be absolutely packed. And another payday. I wouldn't turn my nose up at. So that would be good. Predictions for Fulham, because Fulham's going to be on Sunday. Terry, what we're going to say?
Tough, hard game. 1-0 win.
1-0. Gary?
2-1. I think this is where things start to change for us. We've got a run of winnable games, and we've got players coming back. I know Xhaka might not be back yet, but I think this is where we maybe push on a bit. So 2-1 Sunderland. Right,
I'm going to go 2-0 only because I always get it wrong, and so I hope my 2-1 bet comes in. Right, this is how it works then. Next week, right, I'm going to be on a ship off the coast of Africa, but I paid for the Wi-Fi package. So the plan is we will still do a Sunday bunch. So we will be on. I will watch the Fulham game somehow, and we'll be on them. So we will do a Sunday bunch next week. So tune in for that. But don't. I'm not. Well, it should be all right. We'll be all right. Sorry.
Have you been employed by Sunderland as a recruitment? The new recruitment looking in Africa.
No, not at all. I've just got to take my dad on a cruise
with a nice package.
Honestly, me dad's a nightmare. He has to go away on holiday. Yeah, he's got to go away. February, I normally go on a cruise, and of course, he can't look after himself. So, nightmare. Anyway, but we should be all right. Johnny Kill, Wi-Fi and ships are crap. Well, it better not be, because I've paid for the whole singing, all dancing, and it's cost me a fortune. So hopefully we'll be all right. So join us next Sunday for that. But if it doesn't happen, we'll be all right. Terry will sort it out. Terry will do something.
Why don't you and your lass do a Titanic thing at the front here?
Well, I would, but our lass is not coming. Our lass is not going.
Oh, right. Still leaving her behind.
So it's just so anyway, but never mind. So that's what happens next week. Hopefully, when I come off here, the Russian Geordies are going to leave us alone, because I can't have another week like I've had last week. It was an absolute nightmare, and the hoops you've got to jump through to try and get everything back up and running. But thanks for bearing with us. Massive thank you once again to wolfcompetitions.co.uk. There is a link in the description. Get on there. Win yourself some cash. I could be knocking on your door. If I knock on your door, we'll use your video then show everybody how much you want. Well, we'll knock on your door, Gary, if you want to. Whereabouts are you again? Are you in Yorkshire somewhere?
In Yorkshire, yeah. I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
I want you to deliver that car to me.
I'll bring it. I'll bring it for you gladly. Right, that just about wraps it up anyway. Terry, do you just want to say bye to everybody?
I think Gary wants you to deliver you a nice package.
Hey.
Hi, goodbye, everybody. Enjoy your week.
You're shocking, you are. Gary, just say bye to everybody, please.
Just say bye to everybody, please.
There you go. Listen, Emma, hope you get well soon. Dino wasn't on tonight because it's his mum's birthday, so happy birthday to Dino's mum. If you're watching, she'll not be watching, she'll be drinking and eating cake and stuff like that. So thanks for tuning in. You're legends, all of you. Don't forget, please, to like, share and subscribe. Tell your pals about it. And if you're a member of our channel, then watch for your name in the credits at the end. Thanks a lot. We'll see you. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.